square on and we'll see who's who.
Do you want to go through Zoom first?
Yeah, what?
Do you want to go through the Zoom members first and then we'll do the
Sure.
people in the room?
Sure.
All right, I can run us through. So first on the screen is Chris. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, introduce myself.
I am Chris Sorensen. I'm the complete streets guy for MassDOT.
Great. And Lauren?
Did she hear you?
There we go. It's a he. Lauren Stevens from Williamstown.
Oh, well, there.
Great. Peter?
Yep, Peter Purcell from Hinsdale.
Thank you. Ryan?
Ryan Griffiths, BRPC, colleague of Nick.
You know where I met him at that meeting,
Probably.
Innovation Center.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Vision Zero. Dan?
Hey, everybody, Dan Bolignani, National Heritage Area, National Park Service, and Western New England Greenway.
Great. Jim? You're on mute.
He's muted.
Have you got you?
Jay's there.
We can come to Jay. Are you there, Jay?
Jailing. I manage Berkshire Biking Board in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and I'm helping out with May Bike Month. Very excited.
Absolutely. Who's next? Joan?
Joan Angelo from Lee.
Welcome. Sarah? I think you're on mute.
Hi,
What's up?
Sarah Gardner from Williamstown.
Awesome. Welcome, Sarah. And Teresa.
Where's Teresa?
Hi, I'm Teresa Dean, Northern Berkshire Community Coalition.
Awesome. Great to meet you. Thanks for joining. Then I'll start us off on the room. Nick Russo, Senior Transportation Planner at Berkshire Regional Planning Commission.
Are we gonna get your picture there?
If
It is
as
there.
people speak, they'll come
Oh,
to
there you are.
That second
Okay.
square, yeah.
you. Yeah.
Ricardo Morales, Commissioner of Public Works in Pittsfield.
I'm Jim McGrath. I'm the City of Pittsfield's Park and Open Space Program Manager, and I work out of the city's Office of Community Development.
Hi, I'm Jen Van Bramer. I'm the City of Pittsfield's new Recreation and Special Events Coordinator, also working out of the Office of Community Development.
Awesome.
Olivia Overley, I live in Pittsfield.
John Galt, Berkshire Bike Path Treasurer.
Kathy Gideon, decorator of children's bicycles who are using the bike path. Great.
Hey, I'm Margie Safran. I'm Pittsfield. Brittany Ebling, I live in Sheffield and I work in Pittsfield for Berkshire Environmental Action Team.
And Margie Cohan, Berkshire Bike Path Council.
All right.
So we have a lot of good people. I'm waiting for Morgan from Mass Mocha to join us. I think that's the only other person, and yeah.
Hopefully you can join that.
Great, we are so happy to have so many people and we have so many wonderful things to talk about today that it's just terrific. We can't make our big announcement without Morgan.
That'd be
So,
nice, yeah.
We're waiting for him to join us, and we're gonna kind of go out of order because we have people who can't stay the whole time. So, I first always want to start the meeting by thanking people who have helped us and events that we've had. So I want to thank the people that helped with Maddie's fall ride, and that was Kathy Gideon and Jay, and Jay's family froze as we did the bike ride. The whole family was there. So thank you very much for volunteering. We had a wonderful ribbon cutting for the extension of the Cook. And I wanted to thank Jim McGrath for making it happen. And it was really a wonderful day and it was great to see so many people there. And then the other thing we had since our last meeting was National Remembrance Day. And that really was very successful. And I wanted to thank Nick and Ricardo and Galen for their participation. And it's really kicked off a whole new kind of mission and understanding about what we're doing. And I think that that's gonna be an important part of the meeting tonight. I wanna do announcements quickly. I don't see Tori, she was gonna make couple of announcements, so we're gonna have to wait for her to come. There is an annual board meeting open to the public from Mass Bike, and Nick's gonna put that information in the chat. It's the 20th, and you can participate online. And we certainly are big supporters of Mass Bike, and they're big supporters of us. So
Oh, I'm sorry, I got an email from Morgan saying he can't make it today. I actually had another meeting pop up.
well, no.
So this is for the lobby day and the,
Yeah,
The meeting.
The meeting,
Oh, the
the
annual-
annual meeting for
Right.
the Mass Bike.
yeah, let me throw that in the chat for sure. One
Okay.
second.
Wait, but then we don't get it.
I can forward you the email if you want.
Okay, well, any other announcements? We have a big announcement we'll make. I think that, you could make the announcement.
I guess, yeah, since Morgan can't make it.
Yes. Okay, so this is, the best news ever.
We'll do the good news and the other good news, yeah, so some of you might have seen already, but we're gonna make the formal announcement tomorrow that we're super excited that Berkshire County has received a federal raise grant to continue extending the Berkshire Bike Path from its northern endpoint in Adams all the way into Williamstown to meet up with the Mohegan Recreational Path in Williamstown. So the USDOT has awarded Berkshire County $17 million to do a design feasibility plan to get this project up to shovel-ready status in the next 4 years or so. So yeah, we're super excited. There's gonna be an announcement tomorrow in North Adams at City Hall with Congressman Neal. But you know, we wanted to spread the word first. So if anybody's around in Northern County wants to go at 11
It's a
o'clock.
pretty exciting thing. It's an unbelievable design.
I mean, hopefully it will be. Right now it's just a line on a map, but we'll yeah.
And, you know, I'm sorry that Morgan isn't here and Eric isn't here, but
It's a,
I mean, this has been a project where private money has brought it to this point.
Yeah, no.
A huge investment, millions
yeah,
has been invested by private people to purchase the property, to get an original design. And it will, I just think will draw so many people to North County. On top of which, it's the missing link in the Western New England Greenway, because the Williamstown piece is the entrance to the Berkshire Western New England route.
Yeah.
And this will enable people to have an off-road route all the way to Pittsfield. So that's a very, very exciting project, and there was a lot of competition. They didn't get it on the first round. They resubmitted it in this rush of the Biden administration to spend the money before things change. And it's just, and I think we do have to be grateful to Richie Neal.
Yeah.
For it needed a real push from politics too. So,
yeah, no, yeah, I can emphasize.
is that the best news ever, Peter?
Yeah, it's very great. How much of a distance will it add onto the trail?
How much length will it add onto the trail from
About 10 miles.
about 10 miles?
So the cool thing is it'll be one shot instead of like a mile at a time like we've been doing, you know, so we're gonna try and get this all done with one shot. A few different phases, but it'll be one design project.
That's great.
Do we continue to call this the Adventure Trail? Is that sort of collectively what we're referring to this project as forevermore?
The actual name of the project is more like a code name. It's like the Adventure to Asheville to Cook Trail, the A to A Trail, but I think we'll figure it out.
Okay.
The Adventure Trail is technically from the town line at Williamstown to Massimoka, that western piece.
Okay.
And then the part that goes south is not really the Asheville to Cook anymore because it's not on the railroad, so it could be something else. We don't know yet.
Okay.
Think of a name. It'll be a naming competition or something.
Okay.
So we're gonna call this the 808.
As a landscape architect, is Reed Hildebrand can continue, will they stay with the project for the full design, or is it will be bid?
I believe it will be bid.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they just worked with tourists on those concepts.
Okay.
I don't think they're involved
So
with,
who gets the award?
Okay,
Who gets the award of the money?
BRPC is administering,
Okay,
so
that's
the
important.
funds will
to
flow
know.
through us.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
So,
it is,
yeah,
it is wonderful news.
yeah, no, we're very excited with the collaboration between, the towns of Adams, Williamstown, City of North Adams, Tourist Hotel, Mass Mocha, Berkshire Funding Focus, which is kind of a department within BRPC run by Karen Palto, and she's gonna be the administrator between the feds and BRPC, so. We'll get the agreement going and gotta get that money spent in the next 4 years or so. So more, stay tuned, yeah.
Okay, Sean, do you wanna give us a quick, treasurer's report?
Yeah, well, I just, the only activity, since, well, this year was, just, well, let's see. Yeah, the only activity in 24 was a payment to Constant Contact in September. Plus, a payment I didn't know about that, was for John Yule's memorial plaque in the garden at the end of the new, but anyway, I think, and I'll have to check with Nick afterwards, because I don't get to see all these transactions anymore because we're setting up this new computer thing. But I think our balance. Oh, wait a minute. No, let me see, the balance is just a little under $700, basically, that's what we got in the bank. And as it goes down, we get an anonymous donor that replenishes it, so we don't need raising money unless we're gonna fund some of this bike path. So that's where we stand, and we're just under $700, and I gotta talk to Nick afterwards about smoothing this thing out.
Let's definitely make sure we're on the same page, because I think the only thing that should be different is that Constant Contact is billing me now instead of you, but I think it should be pretty much the same between Linda
See,
and.
they never did bill me, they always billed John Yule, and then at the end, towards the end, he wasn't so active anymore, and I didn't hear, but Margie had, I guess, Constant Contact contacted her, and she had to pay with her credit card month by month, and then we had to reimburse her, and then, so.
We'll get it to.
We've talked about this, so we have to get it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're gonna, move to, bike month reports and activities. Because some people can't stay, we want them involved. So Jay, you're gonna be up next.
Love it.
And
All right,
Jay,
so I have a little presentation I can give here, a little slideshow. This is a little document I have to help organize things that we're doing in Pittsfield for Berkshire, for Pittsfield May Bike Month. So pretty much there are 5 weekends in May. We're going to kick off with a big show at First Friday. I talked to Rebecca Breen. We're going to have, hopefully, fingers crossed, Fenn Street. We'll have a big chunk of Fenn Street where we can set up some kind of trick bike / bike race. I'm going to be working with Jake Seeley, who's a professional BMX bicyclist. He has a shop on North Street, so he's going to help out with that. It's going to be really awesome. It's going to be a big show. It's going to be fun for all ages on First Friday, and I'm excited. So the next weekend we're going to do.
Your line across it. Yeah, good. Great.
So that was the whole calendar. So First Friday, downtown trick bike rally in collaboration with DPI. The next weekend is the Hot Plate Ride, Friday the 9th. Nick and Marge heading up a meetup ride And then after, there's going to be beer and food trucks at Hot Plate. That'll be fun. Keep moving. The next weekend will be Bike to Work Day on Friday. So we had smashing success with Bike to Work and / Bike to School, Bike to wherever you got to go. Looking forward to build off of that success. The Berkshire Biking Board offered up a $500 gift card for participants for that. Matt Banky at Conti School. He has a bike school bus that he organizes. Maybe we'll have more of those, or maybe we'll just make that one more of a critical mass, which will be awesome. Following weekend, Marge Cohan is going to be doing a Memorial Day weekend ride on I think it's Saturday, right, Marge? Saturday that weekend.
Hoping that Jennifer's going to help me.
Love it. Asha Will to Cook ride. And then the last weekend we're going to do on the 31st, which is a Saturday, we're going to have a bike rodeo at the farmer's market. Rebecca Breen should have reached out to you, Marge, to help coordinate that.
Yes. Yeah.
So that'll be fun. Tori.
And Tori's leading that.
To school. Obviously, if anyone wants to help out with any of these events, feel free to hit me up or Marge. There are other organizations and other communities doing events throughout the Berkshires for Bike Month, which will help obviously promote. May 2nd, there's a Safe Routes rodeo in Great Barrington. May 3rd, there's one up in North County. Berkshire Biking Board, we do weekly rides, mountain bike rides, road bike rides, so we'll be promoting those. So like I said, if you have anything you want to help promote that's going on in that month, let me know and we will help promote it. Email me at jelling@gmail.com. Other than that, any questions, concerns, comments?
We're way ahead of where we were last year. We had a lot of great events last year. The other area that we need some help with is the communication and the, the promoting these things. So if there are people with those skills and they can help us with that, that would be another good reason to connect to Jay or I.
Oh yeah, and Rebecca Breen and Love Pittsfield obviously will help out with promotional stuff and yeah.
Teresa, are you aware of the bike event in North Adams? I'm hoping. I gave Tori your number, so she'll be getting in touch with you. But it's an event where they close the street and they. Are you at all aware of that or?
I'm not. I would love information on it.
Okay, so
Thank
Tori has your number to coordinate that event. And I think it's great. And I think it's great. The first weekend we have something in North, South, and Central.
Absolutely.
I think we're pretty organized and it's pretty, we got a good head start here.
I see in the chat there's a question from Laura Fredericks about advertising the Berkshire Eagle. I'm sure we can, with some more coordination, get someone to write an article about it and lead up into all the festivities.
Yeah, we can either do a coordinated press release through BRPC or maybe do a letter to the editor or something.
Right.
If not a full ad, would be nice, but those are expensive.
Or editorial. We can have, I'm sure if we supply some images and Bike to Work Day, the first Friday kickoff. Yeah.
Oh, that's a place where we need more helpers. So we have more companies that participated than last year. And
Bike to Work is a big one.
Can organize people at your site, that would be great. Or give us a name of somebody at another place that might have people who would bike to work.
Or maybe even organizing like we thought, people that commute from out of town, they can kind of we can rally up a location where everyone can park and then they can ride to work from there. So there's a lot of things that we can throw around ideas to help out.
The City Hall people rode from Wachusett, Wacona. They work from Wacona to City Hall.
Nice.
So, you know, you can do something like that, leave the car someplace and go a couple of miles.
Love it.
Great, well, you'll be hearing more, we'd like to hear more people who wanna help on some of these committees. And, we have an April meeting, so we'll follow up, but.
I'm gonna put my email address.
Jay.
I'm gonna put my email address in the chat if anyone wants to reach out to me.
Thank you. Okay, Tori is calling, can't get in. I told you to call on my phone and she could talk to us, so we'll postpone that.
Somebody's downstairs now?
No, she. Okay.
Hey, Marge,
Jimmy Grant, do you have any updates from Pittsfield?
hey, Marge, let me just say I gotta leave. So thank you very much for the wonderful news. And guess I'll see you guys soon. Hopefully on the trail in the spring, if everything goes well for me.
Okay.
The update from Pittsfield is that we're really pleased. We were able to open the newest stretch of the asphalt to go from Merrill Road to Crane Ave. So in the springtime, we'll be right back at that. It's establishing pretty well there. Our DPS park maintenance guys will continue to be out there nearly daily, maintaining that trail, maintaining the restrooms at the Crane Ave parking area. We're still kind of waiting for the next phase southerly from Merrill Road to understand what MassDOT is going to do, whether that'll be on the east side or the west side of Merrill Road.
Chris here from MassDOT.
Oh, yeah, we do have a MassDOT rep, so
Yeah,
maybe we
he's
can
next.
hear more about that. But and just simply,
That's forthcoming.
with Ricardo in the room too, we're jumping into the East Street project. Soon, over the next few years, there'll be major reconstruction on East Street that'll have bike accommodations.
Yeah, so we have with state work starting in the spring on East Street. We're starting on our end, the following section from Lyman to Elm Street, and actually one block over after Elm Street. And that's gonna basically carry the same design, have some differences. There's gonna be some, a roundabout in one of the intersections on Fenn East, and redo the intersection on Fenn on Elm and East to be much more friendly for pedestrians and bicyclists, while still accommodating the large volume of vehicles that goes through there. So it's challenging intersection. Together with that, this year is going to be very busy with road work, not just from our end, but also from the state's point of view, from their work. We're going to have through the municipal paving program that includes refreshing lines and adding some pet bicycle facilities on whatever work is done. We've included 3 streets: South Street from South Mountain Road all the way to around Henry Ave, First Street full from East Street to the BMC area project, and then North Street from the BMC area project all the way to Lanesboro. So those will be all refreshed, new,
And they'll all have bike lanes?
Right now, we're not finished on the design, but the goal is to have all of those with bike lanes. Formal, right now, North Street in that section says you can use the shoulder, it says share the shoulder is for bike. That's the plan, is not to have that afterwards. And some of the section will be improving some crossings for pedestrians. So that's the idea there. We're gonna be busy with West Street, with some added off-street bike lanes. Mixed in, depending on this section. And its challenges, mixed in with some on-street buffered bike lanes. And then I guess, the other thing. We have the North Street redesign is gonna start taking shape in terms of the public design, like public-led design process. And towards the end of this month, we're gonna be building the stakeholder group. From there, we're gonna go in about around March, we're gonna be starting the first round of public input sessions. And that very much includes maintaining one lane of travel on North Street and figuring out what happens at the intersections and providing for better protection for cyclists and pedestrians.
So what Ricardo's trying to say is that the toters disrupted all the conversation around bike lanes,
Yeah.
but the bike lane conversation is coming back in this city. So for those of you that are fans and advocates for bike lanes in Pittsfield, speak up when there's a lot of negativity around, why are we doing this? What's going on? This is the worst thing ever. We need everyone to rally around safety and slowing vehicles down. That's the name of the game. And everyone really needs to be patient because there's gonna be a ton of road work.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like.
One
On a road.
other thing, because I'm not sure if I'll be able to stay until the safety conversation. I'll just briefly mention that we also have the Safe Streets for All grant. That was awarded last year. We finally got the contract signed over the last month and a half from the federal government. We're gonna get going on that. It's also gonna include heavy public input. It's aimed to have at the end of the process a pilot installation and a toolkit standards for the city to follow for implementing traffic calming measures, including, protected bike lanes and stuff like that. So that's happening this year too.
Awesome.
A lot happening
That's exciting stuff.
in Pittsfield. Thank you, and thank you. We're looking forward to it, looking very different. Okay, we have Chris to tell us about countywide Mass Dot efforts to improve our roads and safe biking. Where is he?
Don't have anywhere near as much this month as I did last time. As Ricardo said, we're starting the East Street in the spring. Ashland Street in North Adams, we're expecting the final design by the end of the month. We anticipate it going to bid in late summer this year. The Lee Bikeway, that was the one, if you recall, last time they got delayed by the environmental issues. So we have a 25% submission. They're gonna redo it essentially, incorporating comments that we've already given them, get it back to us. And then once that gets approved, they're on to 75. That is planned for 2029. Merrill
Do you have
Road.
Committee meeting for that one?
What was that?
Chris, do you have a community meeting at 75%?
That happens at 20. Once 25% is approved, that's when you do your public hearing.
Okay,
So there should be, I don't know if there's been a public hearing yet for Lee Bikeway. I can find out and let you know.
I'm pretty sure they have one.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure they had one last year, but yeah, if you want to confirm, that'd be great.
All right. The Merrill Road, that is at 25%. That should be coming up on a design public hearing soon. I don't have a date for you because we don't have the 25% approved yet.
Well,
So
that's gonna be
yeah, you guys are asking about what we're doing on Merrill Road. We're having some issues with the Navy, so it's looking like the north side is not going to work and it's gonna have to go to the south side. But that's not set in stone yet either. So the Navy could change their mind and then we'll keep it on the north side.
All in the Army, maybe it'll help.
Was in the Army. I don't think that's gonna help.
No, no, okay.
No.
It's like the Army Navy football game, they can just go anything.
All right. What else do we have here? The Ashwolta Cook extension to Hodges Cross Road. The FHWA granted a time extension on the design contract. It was actually set to expire over last summer, but they've now extended it to the middle of 2028. So that's still under design. We don't even have we're still in the pre-25 section with the Ashwell to Cook extension. That is estimated to be advertised at the end of 2027. But there's a lot of this stuff. It's a lot of this stuff that's lower down. It's for the dates are in flux. They're certainly not set in stone. They don't really get set in stone until you're at the 100 PSE level. So, but that is what we've been up to since the last time we talked.
Anybody have any questions or comments? We've got people from all over the county now, so you've reached out to me and to Williamstown, all these people are here tonight, so. Okay, well, do let us know when there's community meetings, because we can do what Jim said.
We just get there and talk.
And, try to help people understand why we're doing this. Okay. Western New England, Dan, do you have an update for us?
Sure, I can be very brief. Do I have screen sharing, Nick?
You should.
Great. I do indeed. So anyway, let me just give you a really quick update here. So this is the project website, the Western New England Greenway. It is US Bicycle Route 7. Many of you are familiar with this program, but it threads together all of the local cycling projects from Norwalk, Connecticut on Long Island Sound to the Canadian border. And the Western New England Greenway connects with Route Vert there at the northern terminus. It connects with the East Coast Greenway at the southern terminus in Norwalk, Connecticut. So we've been working, with partners with Berkshire Bike Path Council and Berkshire Regional Planning, of course, partners in Vermont. And one of those partners is the statewide advocacy organization in Vermont, Local Motion. And they've been doing some work on stress levels and trying to pair stress levels with the bike route so that people can make an informed decision about whether they're comfortable riding it, if they're comfortable bringing their family or their kids, or if this is going to be a solo trip. So I'm going to show you just very briefly kind of the work that Susan Grasso from Local Motion has been doing. But while I've got this website up, and please feel free to visit and check on what's going on there, wnegreenway.org. Another conversation I have had just in the last 3 weeks or so is this startup company out of Providence. This young woman, I think, lives in the Quincy, Mass area. She calls it Points, and the website is bikepoints.com. And so she and I and the Connecticut delegation to the Western New England Greenway have had a couple of meetings with her. This is similar to either a Waze or a Google Maps for cars. Basically, it is a crowdsourced style of mapping bike routes or non-motorized routes. So that, and we've talked about this in our meetings. How do we convey when a bridge is out, when a route is tied up, when there's a car accident, has to be rerouted, something detrimental or something favorable happens? How do we convey this information in somewhat real time to all other users, as you can do with an app like Waze? And so this team here, Trisha and her partner, the developer, are doing this exact same sort of thing for cyclists. So we've been talking about whether or not this might be a partnership that the Western New England Greenway might want to engage in, or maybe, Berkshire Bike Path Council may want to have a conversation with her. I'd be happy to hook you up with Trisha. She's just looking for ways to gain entry into what we all do, which is advocate for non-motorized transportation. But let me show you So aside from that, you can think about if that's something that you want to pursue further. But let me show you this. This is just a section of a presentation that we had at the Western New England Greenway Conference in November. We meet annually and invite anybody who's interested to come and join us. But the work that Susan Grasso has been doing is using a somewhat standardized level of traffic stress criteria. And you can see here it's posted speed limit, number of lanes, width of shoulders, etc. And hoping at some point to get to the point where, and what you're seeing on the map on the screen now is representation of the Western New England Greenway from Massachusetts, Pownell at the bottom, and the Canadian border at the top, and the level of stress color-coded for every section in that entire state. So a lot of this work still needs to be done. Obviously, it needs to be very granular, and obviously it needs to be able to be translated into a digital app. I'm not sure a paper map is going to be able to give a rider all the data that they're going to need, but just wanted to let you know this work is underway in Vermont, and at some point we'll support its development in Massachusetts and Connecticut as well. So just wanted to let you know that's what we're up to.
Sarah, that was what I was discussing with you as a potential student project. That we evaluate the Massachusetts section of the Greenway for this project.
I think she has
Sarah's
it.
not there?
Yeah.
We'll send her the recording.
Okay.
Thanks, Connor.
Okay. All right, well, we're ready to have our report from Nick. I think at the National Remembrance Day, Galen really helped us understand that improving road safety is not just a bicycle issue. It's a health safety issue, and I know that Marge has connected us and that the Pittsfield Health Department Committee is interested in this issue. And I think it's a very different way of looking at bike lanes and not just for bicycles, that is slow traffic for everybody and improve the conditions for everybody. So Nick is going to report on it's a proposal, right? It's a grant proposal.
Oh, the safety study?
Yeah, it's a safety study
Mhm.
to be used to develop a plan for Berkshire County. So
Yeah.
you're on.
Sure. Some of you may have already seen, but we're working to ramp it up a little bit, with the Safe Streets and Roads for All action plan that we've been developing, over the past year. So, the final draft is now complete. We're kind of moving into the next phase, which is what I'm calling the Vision Zero phase. For people who might not know, the Vision Zero ethos is getting to zero traffic deaths and serious injuries in a particular region. So, yeah, I really want to get a Vision Zero mindset out into Berkshire County. It's
You're
a,
gonna show us this project,
yeah, I could bring up the website. That's a good idea.
yes, because you did a lot of work.
Yeah, no, I've been kind of just tweaking with it for the past couple of months here, so,
Yeah, I have to say that I read it not in its entirety, but I read many parts of it and it's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
it is, that's
incredible
why I wanted him to
resource.
present it.
the action plan, yeah,
Mhm.
we had a great, partnership with, Beta Group Consultants to help us develop that and do a lot of the legwork and data crunching. So now we have this great resource, which is that what I want here? Yeah, that's what I want. Do you guys see the webpage? There, I got it. There, can you guys see the webpage with like the yellow bar and everything here? Like a thumbs up or are you guys just seeing my desktop on Zoom?
No me.
We're just seeing a line, actually. We can't see anything.
Okay, there, let me fix this screen share. I had to move the window to the TV that we're watching in the room here. Here's the. I'm the one fumbling with this. Where's the screen record button?
Record or share?
Oh, share. Yeah, I think of Teams as the record button instead of share. I think if I just share this whole screen. There we go. Now, can you see the Berkshire County Steps website?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is our new webpage for the Vision Zero initiative. So we got a newsletter you can sign up for. Just sent the first one out this past week. You can read it in the archive here if you want, and then join the subscription for the next one if you'd like. We've got the whole plan available to download online. So if you scroll down a little bit further, we kind of what is Vision Zero. And we have the action plan right here you can download and read. So, 100-something pages, but there's the executive summary too, if you want to read that.
Why don't you share what's in the executive summary, because people don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, sure. So basically, we did the study to gather the crash data from Berkshire County for the past 5 years, 5 full years, which is 2018 to 2022. And we processed that data to find the top crash locations in Berkshire County where people have either been killed or seriously injured. And from there, we created what's called a high injury network, which is basically the whole county mapped out of where the worst roads are in the county. So we also have that data available online here on a dashboard. It's fully interactive. You can jump on and read the different statistics we have. There are 11,000 total crashes that were analyzed for the data here.
Wow, over what amount of time?
5 years over the whole county. A lot of those just fender benders. Like those aren't all bad crashes. Of those, there were we have 11,000 total, 2,200 had injuries, 217 had serious injuries, and 63 were fatal in 5 years. And so you can zoom in on the map and see where all the hot spots are with the red lines. Those are the worst corridors. The darker the color, the worse the corridor is.
So
Same
we
with the
go all
dots.
the way out on that side to where?
So what do you mean?
Where is that furthest terminus on the right side of this?
Out here? That's Dalton.
Dalton, okay.
Yep. So one of the top intersections I think is Main Street and Dalton near the there's like a senior center, senior living facility. There's been a couple of crashes at that crosswalk with injuries. I know. I'm not sure if any fatalities. So you can see where some of the hot spots that we found are, and those can be prioritized in the future for infrastructure funding to fix the issues that cause these crashes.
Go the other way to Sheffield. Where's Sheffield?
Yeah, they're Stockbridge, Great Barrington. Sheffield is down here. There's one stretch here where there were like 3 fatal crashes in like that 5-year time span on Route 7. So that's
And a death,
yeah,
pedestrian death.
yeah. I think that's closer to Great Barrington. But
No, it was Main Street
yeah.
to the library in Stockbridge, in Sheffield,
Oh, okay.
was a woman killed.
Oh
Somebody I know.
no. I'm sorry to hear that. It might have been too recent for this for it to show up here if it was after 2022.
Was that? Couple 2 years ago?
So it might have not shown up in here.
She was closer to go to the library.
We do have a different way to track the fatalities, so those are more up to date on our end of things. So, yeah, you can play with this dashboard. It's right on the webpage here. You can just scroll down, or you can just hit data dashboard and it'll take you right to it. You can also add your own points. You can click the map on the webpage and add if you see an issue that you want us to know about. I can't say we'll do anything about it like immediately, like we can't just jump out there and like fix it. But it'll help us to gather data in the future about where to look and give us backup about what projects we could possibly implement. Or if there's another project that is starting up, we'll let them know, hey, there's been these issues flagged, and they can work to address that in their development plans. So you can add with this input tool here. We've got a little fun like pledge you can take to say that you'll travel safe around Berkshire County. I'll send you a certificate if you take it. Just a fun little thing. And then at the bottom, we've got some FAQs. You can read through about the program more. And then a couple more resources you can read through if you're really nerdy and want to read about the safety strategy from the US DOT. Some guides for how to develop safer streets, mass bike and walk mass if you want to learn more about what they do. You can send me fan mail down here. And yeah, that's basically the whole website. So berkshiresteps.org. I'll put that in the chat. And that combines our safety action plan along with the data dashboard that informed the action plan. That's kind of what the big takeaway is, what we're working off of.
What's the action plan?
That's the report that has all the recommendations of where the top crash locations are and strategies that we can implement in the next few years.
What are some of the strategies we can implement?
It's a big range. It could depend on the types of crashes that took place. Like if it's a run off the road type crash, maybe more guardrails, rumble strips are being implemented now more, especially center line. So if you cross the center line, you'll get the rumble strip and alert you not to cross the center line of the road. Bike lanes, roundabouts, traffic signal improvements, sidewalks, crosswalks with the flashing beacons to help people cross the street easier. Strategies like behavioral, like educational enforcement, stuff like that too. Like not necessarily infrastructure, but funding, say, for educational campaigns, for PSAs, stuff like that. So the sky's the limit. It's all kind of contained in the recommendations section of the report towards the end. I don't really have a succinct summary on the webpage of those, but if you download the report, you can read through the recommendations there. And part of that strategy is to have the Vision Zero working group here, which is like the public arm that I want to have help represent residents in Berkshire County to inform us about what we should do. So I'm actively seeking members to join as like a sort of a task force working group here that'll meet, a few times a year, probably like quarterly like this. The few subcommittees, education and outreach, helping to do PSAs, stories for our newsletter, stuff like that. Technical assistance to help us decide what projects to do, cost estimates, help us develop RFPs, and then equity and transparency to help us track our progress, make sure we're reaching the right people, make sure we're accountable and, we're tracking our achievements as we go. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please do apply. Just send me, there's at the main page here, there's a little application button, basically just a quick little survey. You can fill in here, just your name, where you live. If you have what subcommittee you prefer to be on, what your interest is. If you want to be a chair, yes or no. And then just why you're interested, send a statement of interest, and if you have a resume about other experiences that would be helpful, drop that in there too. And yeah, we want to fill it up as soon as we can so we can get started on the next phase of this grant. So that was long-winded, sorry about that, but if you have any questions or if something didn't make sense, feel free to ask a question or put it in the chat. Shoot me an email. Yeah, that's our Vision Zero.
I think that after our National Remembrance Day, we really wanted to feel like, we feel like we want to do something. We want to make change, we want to make it safer, and clearly we want to make it more than a bike issue.
Yeah.
We want to make it a public safety issue. And I think we really need to reach out to the public health departments in some of the other towns besides Pittsfield to begin this conversation.
Absolutely.
I think slowing down traffic and getting people conscious about sharing the roads with everybody. It's gonna take a lot of work.
It's gonna be a long-term, like, initiative, you know, it's not gonna be a one-year thing, so kind of just a new ethos, a new mindset for Berkshire County, hopefully. So, hopefully we'll see you out there. We'll do some tabling, we'll do some, yeah, all kinds of stuff, get our name out there.
Laura, is Laura still there?
Laura Fredericks?
Yeah.
I see her there.
Did you say that, you knew some towns or cities that have a plan for, fatality, zero fatalities?
Sure, there's many cities that are Vision Zero cities that have action plans and then they wind up doing also annual reports. Where Emily was killed, certainly in Philadelphia, you know, they're a Vision Zero city. So this is nothing new. It's new for Berkshire County, which is great. It's a step certainly in the right direction. But when cities come up with Vision Zero action plans, I think Philly started it in 2016, and maybe they said, okay, by 2030, there will be zero fatalities. But I was just on a meeting this morning and we talked about fatalities, and, you know, the number is not going in the right direction. It's almost holding steady. And let Nick, like you said, this is a process, but it has to start somewhere. And no, it can't just be Pittsfield if this is county-wide.
This is a
So,
countywide proposal.
Yeah.
yeah, so you have to get these other townships to buy into it.
Yes.
Yes,
But yeah,
absolutely.
great work, Nick. Great work, Nick. I know how much time and effort goes into that, and thank you for that.
Thanks, Laura. Yeah, and if you have any input or wisdom from your experiences, please let me know anytime.
Sure, and I'll be filling out that form, you know, about signing up to help for sure.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, Pittsfield does have their own SS4A grant, so they're going to be doing kind of their own little kind of nesting doll of Vision Zero 2. But we're looking forward to collaborating with all Berkshire County plus Pittsfield. So, yeah, we have
Great.
2040 listed as our zero date. So we'll see if we there.
Okay. Yeah, and then I would suggest a annual report every year.
Yes.
And what we do in the annual report in Philly is highlight those who have been victims of either very serious crashes and have survived, or those who have been killed. And we find that you know, hits home a little bit more for people. And we are really in the process of trying to start a Families for Safe Streets Massachusetts chapter. So we'll talk about that offline as well.
Great, sounds good. I will say we do work with MassDOT to report annually on their it's called the performance measure safety. So we will actually be reporting in February the last year's data about fatalities, serious injuries, and bike and pedestrian statistics. So I can let you know when that meeting is if you'd like to tune in and listen. Public's welcome to attend the MPO meetings. That'll be kind of the first iteration where I'll start to transition that to the actual Vision Zero annual report. So the progress has already started for sure. So
thank you.
Any other questions or people from other towns who think they may be able to talk to the public health departments and get people to read this in other towns?
Yeah, well, reach out to me. I'll be probably trying to do some kind of road show with towns for the spring here. Get the word out. Stay tuned.
Any other announcements or calls? We haven't ever connected to Tori. Tori has 3 meetings set up for the 3 rodeos. And I think the people on those committees know who they are.
I think was Tori able to dial in? Can you hear us, Tori? Do you want to jump in and say anything, or up to you?
Oh, she's there? Pressure. Tori, are you on the phone? Whoops.
Can you guys hear me?
Tori, do you wanna?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thanks. Sorry
You
about
wanna-
that. I'm having a lot of connectivity issues today. But as Marge said, we've got some groups who are meeting to plan some bike rodeos throughout Berkshire County. We will be working with NBCC, or we kind of one tentatively planned for Friday, May 2nd, Great Barrington on Saturday, May 3rd, Pittsfield on Saturday, May 31st, and then Conte will have its annual school bike rodeo, but a date hasn't been set for that yet. If you're interested in helping with any of these, whether that's the planning process or the day of volunteering, and or I know one of our schools in Pittsfield has an established bike train. I think that was mentioned earlier. But if you're interested in helping with that, or some of the other schools are looking at starting one, I'll throw my email in the chat and feel free to reach out to me if you're interested in any of that.
Great.
But people who don't
And
know,
I'm also
Tori
going to
is,
throw a few events in the chat too, if anyone's interested, that Safe Routes to
and
School is
you
doing this
wanna make,
winter.
and you wanna make an announcement about your poster thing and your other thing? Did she hear us?
I don't know. Did you hear that, Tori? Was there anything about the poster design contest you wanted to mention, or
I don't think.
should we try to connect?
I
just had some spotty. Oop.
Sorry, I think I cut out. Was someone saying something?
Yes, I was saying you had some other announcements about, a poster contest and something else I forgot.
Yeah, the student yard sign design contest is currently underway. It is specifically for students in 2nd through 8th grade, but if you know a student who is interested in designing a yard sign contest that could potentially be distributed across the Commonwealth, I've got the link in the chat. The theme this year is helmet safety, so we're pretty excited to be promoting that, especially ahead of Bike Month. And then we have our winter webinar in a few weeks, and the topic this year is going to be traffic gardens. So if you're interested in what that looks like in communities, or potentially how you actually make that happen in your community, this is a really great webinar to attend.
Great. I want a traffic garden. Yeah, I'm doing it.
Okay, well,
Awesome.
we did
Thank
it in
you.
an hour, and
Thanks,
there was a lot of information. And feel free to send questions to me or Nick. And if you want to get more involved in any of these projects, that would be terrific. So thank you all for being here, and Happy New Year. And we'll be back again April 3rd at 5 o'clock. Okay?
See you then.
Thanks very
Thank
much.
you, everyone.
I would like to
New
say that
Year.
this.
We'll see y'all.
To be involved in
Every
such a
night.
positive effort.
Right.
It really is.